Welcome back, everybody. Take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How's it going tonight?
Wonderful. I think we have the exact opposite pictures. I have too much stuff in my background, and you have absolutely nothing. It's a good
at my
AC/DC.
I'm at my brother's house. I'm in his wife's, my sister-in-law's office.
Nice.
So
nice.
I think she's waiting to put some pictures up on the wall.
Yeah, you should get some signed posters for her. Maybe some Benedict Cumberbatch posters or something.
I sense a little jealousy.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll get you something, I promise. Don't worry.
Well, you'll be getting a box full of stuff soon. I will send that and Daisy Ridley, at least one each.
Got it. All right, what are we talking about? What are we talking about this week, Alex?
Yeah, we're gonna jump right back into our favorite topic, which is comics. We're gonna talk a little Mattie Franklin. Has nothing to do with Fantastic Four. Right. We're gonna talk Checkmate, but not the DC Checkmate, Spawn.
Right.
We're gonna talk The Secret History of the War on Weed. Beautiful name. Nekra. And then the Joker and Harley Quinn wedding. So one person that you probably know, and brand new books for everybody else.
Yeah, and it's an interesting mix because we're starting to see these like one-off type books where something unique happens, and I see it every week, and I try to balance it out between like, is it a series that's hot,
right,
or is it a specific cover that's hot, or is it just one specific title within that cover that's hot? And I think we owe it to kind of like try to mix it up a little bit, and so we'll talk a little bit about this. I think there's some scarcity attached to some of these things. Maybe there's some toys attached to some of these things.
Yeah.
So but the key ingredient is when you're seeing the pricing, right? When you see the pricing, you're like, whoa, wait a second here. Like what, what's going on?
What do they know that I don't? Yeah.
Right. And it's not like it's one time, one thing. It's like a consistency. And you're going to see this with The Secret History of the War on Weed. Like, you're not going to believe the pricing on some of this stuff. But okay, so let's get started, Alex. What are we going to talk about?
My least favorite, and also my favorite Spider-Woman, Mattie Franklin.
Yeah, so this is interesting, right? Like, these books are starting to shoot up. Why are the character was created in 1999, so it's 22 years, 23 years already. What is going on? Why Mattie Franklin?
I'm only going to just assume that with all the spider stuff that's happening with cartoons and movies and TV shows, and Sony being like, we want to make everything other than just Spider-Man movies. I think you're seeing a lot of uptick and first appearances of characters that are kind of like, that could be used, this Spider-Woman is, was a very 90s, late 90s character. This is, Marvel right after the big, with Joe Quesada taking over and doing a bunch of stuff there. Not a big character in the comics. I mean, she's been around for a while. She got her powers by going to a gathering with like other CEOs that were doing witchcraft. Norman Osborn was one of them, obviously. And she just kind of been around for a little while. Nothing crazy. She was in the Alias comics with Jessica Jones. But with these Marvel TV shows, I mean, we have a whole TV show of Agatha Harkness coming in 2 years. That's you never in a million years would I have bet money on Agatha Harkness TV show
at crazy,
all, ever. So I think it's easy to just kind of go in and grab these books. And also this is low print, late 90s Marvel, all of it low print run. They printed to order. That's it. There was no overprints. There wasn't like, oh, let's keep some for back stock. It was to the money.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember these years, because these years I was sort of out of it a little bit. But Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 5, from May of 1999. There are 48 9.8s. It's about $550 now, Alex.
Crazy.
Hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
It's also AKA Spider-Man 446 with Spider-Woman Mattie Franklin and Spider-Woman Charlotte Witter. Howard Mackey story, John Byrne and Scott Pana art with a John Byrne cover. And then the second appearance, which has the first kiss, which seems to be a very, very popular issue, which is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 14, February of 2000. There are 55 9.8s. That's about a $175 book. Again, it's got the same character, Spider-Woman Mattie Franklin, Spider-Woman Charlotte Witter, John Byrne story and cover. So that takes care of Mattie Franklin. And again, you might be able to find these books. Do you know what I'm saying? You might be able to find
that run
books.
of Spider-Man, not technically with historically isn't worth a lot of money. Like those volume 2 number 1s, they're like $10-15 books. You could probably find them for $5. cover price some places. They're not
Yeah.
historically expensive. So you probably get a nice run 1 through 12 from a dealer, that's not really doesn't care.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what do we got next, Alex?
Spawn 64.
Yeah, so it's a character called Checkmate. It's a first appearance, and these books have skyrocketed. I know that they just announced a Spawn Batman with McFarlane, Capullo, and Jim Lee, which is pretty cool. This is back when Greg and Todd were working on the title. Any particular reason why you're seeing these books go crazy, Alex? Or is it just?
I think one of these. I don't think it actually. I think this is one of those odd instances where the book isn't going crazy because the character. I think it's going crazy because the cover's beautiful. It's Spawn in that kind of like wet work suit, and I think you're looking at these are now where Spawn and the 90s boom of comics start to drop off dramatically. So you're looking at this is like year 5 or 6 of Spawn. The sales weren't there. These were low print run books all the way through the hundreds, like around now till till about 200, 250, even until you would even say like 300. The print runs are really, really small. And when people are trying to go back and get their full sets and everything, these are some of the easier books to like just not have.
Yeah, this book is very, very difficult. So Spawn number 64, August 1997. There are 6 9.8s, which is hard to believe it's that low because there's a lot of Spawn collectors out there, right?
Definitely.
16 9.6s. 9.8s are selling for $900 each. It's very small, but even the 9.6s are $150, which is a very, very healthy
low
number.
Print runs, super low.
Yeah, again, it's McFarlane story, Greg Capullo art with a McFarlane Capullo cover. So that's an interesting one. Okay, Alex's pick of the week. Oh, that's a good drum roll here.
That was you have to take that desk and ship it back home.
What do we got this week, Alex?
I'm gonna probably start talking about San Diego stuff for the next few episodes, just because I was in the thick of it. I will say I'm not a Funko guy. I know you're not really a Funko guy, but I did get tickets to go to the Funko Friday at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. It was all collectors. They had special guests. They had Danny Trejo come out. The Jabberwockies performed. The Armorer was there. They were, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, the comedian, he came out, and it was just constant giveaways. You got a swag bag to come in. Every person there got a free prototype, a Funko prototype, which there are only like a handful of those made for each Funko.
What did you get? What did you get?
I got an 8-bit Justin. I don't think I can.
Where's your loot?
8-bit Dustin. It's in the other room prepping for the internets and sending to the store. But like, I understand it. I understand why Funko, their brand isn't just put a bunch of stuff out, walk away. They treat their customers really well. They gave awards out to collectors, new collectors, old collectors. They had a Hall of Fame for collectors. Anything from that Funko Friday show are now between, I think the lowest ones are going for $60, and I think like some of the lower price stuff are going for like $1,000. Like, and it's $150 a ticket. If you get in, it's all free swag, and it's worth it. I'm not. This is not a paid advertisement for Funko, but if you get a chance to buy a ticket for the Funko Friday in New York Comic Con, if they have it, do it.
So make sure you show a picture on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. All right, that sounds interesting. By the way, I like the San Diego Comic Con upper deck cards.
Oh yeah.
That's what I
didn't make it to that booth. I wish I would have gone. I know. Lame.
All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, we're going to talk about probably the funniest book we've ever talked about, The Secret History of the War on Weed.
Okay, now this book has gone absolutely bonkers, Alex.
Yes.
The variants.
Yeah.
Any clue what's going on with this?
I mean, it's just a fun book. Like, it was a one-shot. It's written by the Deadpool creative team of Jerry Duggan, Brian Person, and Scott Koblish. And it's a one-shot. It's just a crazy book, and it was fun. And I have a feeling this was also kind of like an under-ordered book. Image books are usually pretty ordered high, but this one, I don't feel like it was as big ordered as like the rest of like a new Karen Gillan book or a new Todd McFarlane book would be. But I think it's just a funny tongue-in-cheek book. And you know what? There's already a celebrity tied to it. the chances of someone picking it up and doing like a Hulu animated special are very high.
Right. Okay. So here we go. The Secret History of the War on Weed, Scott Koblish, cover A, April of 2022. There's only 2 9.8s. It's only about a $6 raw book today. Like you said, Jerry Dugan and Brian Posehn story, Scott Koblish art with the Lloyd Bailey. With the Scott Koblish cover A. Then there's the Dave Johnson 1 in 10 variant cover B. There's 3 9.8s. Those are about $10 to $15 raw. Then there's the Scott Koblish pink, to distinguish from the cover A, 1 in 25 variant cover C. There's only 1 9.8, but those are $75 to $100 raw. Okay. I'm going to jump over one. And then there's the Lloyd Bailey Carnivore Comics Edition. There are 10 9.8s. That's about a $30 raw book. Those are limited to 400. It has a Keith Haring homage. It's got like the little caricature drawing.
Yeah. Okay. Very fun.
Very, very fun. And then there's the Board Ape Yacht Club limited edition of 500. There's only 9.8s. They're selling over $500 now. And those are $80 to $110 raw.
Yeah, that's bananas.
So, I mean, really, if you can grab the Scott Koblish pink C, or the Board Ape Yacht Club, or the Lloyd Bailey Keith Haring homage cover, those are really the 3 to pick up.
Yep, I agree. Crazy.
Got it. Okay, the next one, Alex, it might just be a circumstance of rarity or whatever. I don't know. It's a 48-year-old book. Nekra.
Yeah, Nekra. Yeah, this is a fun one, and I think you're right. I think the character itself of Nekra, who is like a daughter of a mutated, she was mutated and essentially is a vampire, almost like a Morbius character. That character's not really big in the comics, but the fact that the first appearance is the last issue of Shauna, the She-Devil, which was extremely low print run. That book got canceled very quickly. I think the rarity of this book just in high grade is just you don't see it. I mean, Shauna, you can find Shauna #1 pretty easily, but once you start getting into 2, 3, 4s, and even the last issue, it's almost impossible to find them and not beat up shit.
Yeah. So Shauna the She-Devil #5, which was the last issue, August of 1973. There are 5 9.8s. There are 12 9.6s. A 9.8 recently sold for $2,500.
That's pretty big.
Even in VF raw condition, they're $40. Yeah. So I bet you could find some of these if you find some Silver Age guys that just have like random back issues.
Yeah,
you should be able to find these. And I don't know that they would know to price them this way. First appearance of Nekra. There's a Professor X cameo. It is the last issue, like you said. John Romita cover on it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we closing out with today, Alex?
Obviously, we're going to close out with the best book yet, The Joker and Harley Wedding.
This book has just absolutely gone crazy recently, from 2004. Any idea why this book has picked up so much steam in the recent past?
I think you're looking at people that are looking at first appearances in Harley. You know, we talked about the audio book that was the first true appearance of Harley Quinn in other media, and you know how that children's book is super expensive right now. This is another Batman Adventures, again, kids books. So, you know, as rare as the first appearance is, this is also as rare, and it's a big deal. It's the Joker and Harley. It's a Joker and Harley wedding. You know, they've done it a million different times in the comic books, and the animated series. I do think that the animated series, because it's really well received by fans and everybody else, that it has picked up more Harley stuff. You know, she's always popular, but I think you're starting to see a little bit more on other non-first appearances books, and this is one of them.
Got it. So Batman Adventures #16, September of 2004. There are 115 9.8s. That includes both the regular and the newsstand. CGC groups them together. They're selling for about $275 on 115 pop. A newsstand edition just sold for $600. Again, and it's Ty Templeton, which people, you know, Rick Burchett, people associate them very, very closely with Harley as well. Yeah. All right, that does it for another episode. Thank you for joining us tonight. It was great having you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below, and we'll see everybody next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.